So what we have here behind me is is called a rotary sorter. This is a nice design for sorting charcoal or other material because it sorts all three sizes at once. Where the unsorted material is poured in the top while the barrel is being turned, and the first stuff that falls out is going through a half-inch mesh, and that's called what we call a fine, or you put in your garden. The next material that falls out and follows the chute down into a trash can is the tubes, the grade 2, the smaller charcoal that's just as good for cooking with, as long as you have a mesh screen in your grill. The biggest stuff falls out the end into a trash can, what we call the grade 1. So this rotary sorter is just simply on a stand with wheels so that it can be turned by hand. If you want to get fancy and put a little belt on it and have it turned automatically, you could do that. And there are much simpler designs too for sorting. May not be quite as fast, but can work well. So we have the charcoal sorted now into grade 1, that's the bigger stuff, grade 2, the smaller stuff, and then the fines, which is the garden kind of amendment. We're going to be sorting the 1 and bagging the 1 and the 2, and the grade 3 we're not bothered to sort. And in this case we're using cardboard and buckets and barrels and whatever is able to get the product into the bag. Better to pour it than to pick it up and handle it. Again, the more you handle this product, the smaller it gets, and so we want to limit that handling a little bit. Once it's been put into the bags, then we will use a portable bag closer or bag stitcher to close up the bags. This actually closes the bottom of the bag when you turn it over, and it has a nice factory edge on top of the bag for people to open up after they purchase the product. This bag closer is not cheap, it's a couple $100, and so there are many options besides investing into this. One producer that I know of is just using something like sugar sacks or twine sacks and closing with a little rope of twine. Another producer uses plain brown paper bags that he buys in bulk, and he closes the top of his bags with a stapler, and then he spray paints on his little meshes, natural charcoal, his label. So there's different ways to go about it. And the third way is to avoid the bagging altogether and just do it in bulk, which would be a great choice if you are able to find a buyer such as a restaurant that cooks with charcoal, and then you sell them a full can of charcoal, and then you cycle that through. When it's empty, you bring back another full can, so you just cycle the cans like you would a propane tank. And that would be a way to avoid the whole bagging process, which is kind of time intensive and of course adds to the cost as well.